Question number 1. Mr. Rao gives you following details for assessment year 2020-21. So this is your assessment year. For your examination, assessment year 2021 questions will be asked. So Mr. Rao is the name of the assessee. Assessment year is 2021. So previous year, you will automatically you will understand that previous year is 2019-20. Yes, followed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You are required to compute taxable income and find out tax payable. So there are two things. One is you need to compute taxable total income, and also second thing, you have to find out how much tax is payable on that taxable total income. Information given to you, number one, basic salary, and the most important word is given in bracket, net, rupees 30,000 per month. So Mr. Rao is receiving basic salary of rupees 30,000 per month, but this salary is a net salary. So whenever net salary is given, you know that we need to add back whatever deducted from the salary. So we will do that, and this salary is per month salary. Income tax to be calculated for the entire year. So we will be multiplying 30,000 with 12 months to find out yearly salary. Yes, followed?
Yes, sir.
So two important things. When it is per month, you need to convert it to 12 months salary, and when it is net, whatever deducted, you need to add back. This add back, everyone understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Perquisite value of motor car per year rupees 16,000, out of which 10,000 is for official purpose. So what we will do is we will add in salary, perquisite value of motor car for the entire year, which is given rupees 16,000. But if 10,000 is for official use, then naturally whatever official purpose amount which is given to you is not taxable. Personal use of motor car is taxable. So we will reduce 10,000 from 16,000, and 6,000 we will take in outer column as perquisite value of motor car. Facility of motor car employer gives to employee is taxable. Profession tax deducted from salary rupees 2,500 per annum. So something which is deducted from salary. So as I explained to you earlier, we need to add back. So we will add back rupees 2,500, and also you know that deduction under section 16, one deduction is profession tax. So we will be deducting profession tax of rupees 2,500 from gross salary to arrive at taxable salary. So profession tax, two effects. One is add back to salary because salary is given as a net salary, and you will deduct under section 16 as a deduction of profession tax. TDS deducted from salary 10,000 per year. So tax deducted at source from salary, you will add back to salary because salary is net salary, and at the end when you are doing computation of tax, at the end you will take credit of TDS. TDS is your assessee's income tax which is deducted by employer and paid to government. So at present you remember only one thing, that we need to add back to salary because salary is a net salary and this is a TDS from salary. Annual value of house property. So up to point number 4, whatever information is given, that information is related to salary, and from that you need to calculate gross salary, deduction under section 16. First one is standard deduction, second is profession tax, and it's like a small question of salary. You need to find out taxable salary. We will do that. Now information is about house property. So Mr. Rao is a assessee who is working and getting salary, but in addition to that, they have given that annual value of house property given on rental basis is rupees 1,80,000, whereas actual rent received is 1,20,000. So you know the calculation of gross annual value. In gross annual value, you will compare 3 items: municipal valuation, fair rent, and standard rent. Here they have given directly annual value of house property. So we assume that that is the amount 1,80,000. Compare it with actual rent 1,20,000. Whichever is more will be considered as your annual value, and that will be 1,80,000. Municipal tax 8,000 per annum. So deduct municipal tax to arrive at a net annual value. So from gross annual value of 1,80,000, you will deduct municipal tax and you will arrive at net annual value. They have given that insurance premium paid for house property 15,000 per annum, repair expense rupees 4,000 per annum. Now this both expenses needs to be ignored. In lieu of all such expenses, government gives us standard deduction. So we will deduct under section 24, first deduction standard deduction and second deduction interest. So insurance premium and repair expenses will be ignored, and instead of that 30% of NAV will be taken as a standard deduction. Interest on loan taken for construction 30,000 per annum. So that interest will definitely allowed as a deduction under section 24, right? So we will claim deduction of interest 30,000. Now, after this much information about income from house property, question talks about income from other sources. You can read 11 item, interest on saving bank account rupees 12,000 per annum. So we will add it as a income from other sources, because every type of interest you have to take under the head income from other sources. But of course, this is savings bank account. So deduction under section 80 TTA can be claimed. 10,000 rupees, that deduction we will claim. Interest on fixed deposit net 18,000 per annum. So net is given. If TDS you find, then you have to add back that TDS. So 18,000 interest of fixed deposit is also income from other sources. Interest on public provident fund PPF rupees 12,000 per annum. Whether we will take this PPF interest or we will not take, any student? PPF interest is taxable or not taxable?
Not taxable.
Not taxable. This PPF interest is exempt from tax. So we will write note at the end of the question that PPF interest is not taken because that is not taxable income. It is exempt income. Interest received on personal loan. Mr. Rao has given personal loan and he received 10,000 per annum interest. So that is income from other sources. All type of interest will be included in income from other sources. And TDS on interest received on fixed deposit rupees 2,000. So this TDS on interest will be added back to 18,000 to rightly write interest on fixed deposit 20,000 in outer column. and again TDS. So at the end, when you are doing computation of tax, we will consider this TDS. Honorarium received from cooperative society 8,000 per annum. So this is income from other sources. Example of income from other sources. He is not employee of cooperative society, so received honorarium will be income from other sources. So we will take all these examples of interest and honorarium as total, and that total will be total income from other sources. So up to this point in question, you have done computation of taxable salary, computation of taxable income from house property, and computation of taxable income from other sources. Let's see what more in this question. Question says, following investments and payments are done during the year. You are able to see screen? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Following investments and payments are done during the year. This information is given for calculating deductions. Deductions under chapter 6A. First one is contribution to PPF, Public Provident Fund, contribution 13,000. This is an example of which deduction? Anyone?
ATC.
ATC, yes, perfect. So ATC 13,000 is a eligible investment. LIC premium rupees 25,000 is also eligible for deduction under section 80C. So 80C के लिए PPF आएगा, LIC आएगा, then NSC purchase rupees 10,000. So this NSC is also eligible for deduction under section 80C. So 13,000 plus 25,000 plus 10,000 all are eligible amount for 80C. We will do total. And you know what is the maximum limit of 80C? Yes?
1,50,000.
1,50,000. So we will compare amounts given in question, total of eligible amount, compare it with 1,50,000, whichever is less will be taken as a deduction under section 80C. Now medical insurance premium rupees 25,000. This amount is for which deduction? Medical insurance premium
80D.
80D, perfect, 80D. So you will say 25,000 or maximum allowed deduction is also 25,000, whichever is less. So we will claim 25,000 under section 80D. Repayment of housing loan is again for 80C, right? Whatever dozen items which are given in 80C eligible amount, repayment of housing loan is also part of that. So 15,000 is 80C. Repayment of education loan 80E eligible rupees 60,000. So you will straight away claim deduction under section 80D 60,000. Followed? Yes?
Yes, sir.
And donation paid to Prime Minister Relief Fund. So Prime Minister National Relief Fund donation is given. You need to find out that this item is given in 100% or 50%. Accordingly, we will claim a deduction. आपको दो टाइप के donations are given under section 80G. 100% donation amount is allowed and 50% of that is allowed. So Prime Minister National Relief Fund is 100%. So we will claim 80G 10,000 rupees. Followed? So which all deductions we have claimed here? 80C liya, 80D, 80E and 80G and 80TTA for savings bank interest, which during the question we have done. So all 5 deductions will be claimed in this particular question. So based on this, let's go through the answer where you know that long question. We will go through it quickly, whatever we have discussed. First, title. 5 items in title. Can anyone tell me which 5 things you have to write as a title of the answer?
Name of the assessee, assessment year, previous year, legal status, residential status.
Perfect. So 5 things: name of the assessee, assessment year, previous year, legal status, residential status. Those 5 items you have to write as a title, and you are doing computation of taxable total income. So that title you write that this is computation of taxable total income, particulars and amount rupees, 2 inner columns and 1 outer column, amount rupees final. So simple format, particulars and 3 columns for amount. Number 1, first head is salaries. You can see on your screen, first head is salaries. And as we discussed in question, basic salary into bracket 30,000 into 12 months. 30,000 is 1 month salary and you want to calculate for the entire year. So 30,000 into 12, 3,60,000. And 2 items which were deducted from salary. Number 1 is profession tax and another is TDS, because salary was a net salary. अगर यहाँ पे word net नहीं दिया होता तो हम ये ऐड नहीं करते. So net दिया है, इसके लिए प्रोफेशन टैक्स और TDS को सैलरी में ऐड बैक करना है. We have done that. 3,72,500. Then perquisite value of motor car given in question 16,000. Official use you have to deduct. So 6,000 in outer column, giving you gross salary of 3,78,500. Once you arrive at a gross salary, you need to claim 2 deductions under section 16, where first deduction, standard deduction, is always there and it is fixed amount of rupees 50,000. मालूम है सब लोगों को standard deduction 50,000? Yes?
Yes.
So,
Yes, sir.
fixed amount, no more, no less, whether you make expense or you don't make expense. Actual expenses to earn salary like purchase of books, etc. are ignored. Only one deduction, fixed deduction is allowed, that is standard deduction 50,000. And of course, profession tax, if given in question that you have paid profession tax, then that amount is also to be claimed as a deduction. So profession tax of 2,500, giving you a total of 52,500 of deductions under section 16. And if you deduct that from 3,78,500, 3,26,000 is a taxable salary. Followed? It's a small question of salary. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll move further. क्या दिख रहा है स्क्रीन के ऊपर?
Income from house property.
Perfect. Okay. Now, second head of income after salary, second head of income, income from house property. First calculation is gross annual value. Now, gross annual value is given in your question. Annual value on a rental basis 1,80,000 or actual rent 1,20,000, and you know that whichever is more becomes your gross annual value. So 1,80,000 is more out of these 2 figures. So income tax department will say that we don't accept that you received actual rent of 1,20,000. We will take your gross rent or gross annual value as 1,80,000. Fair enough. Less municipal tax paid by the owner. So municipal tax which is paid and you assume that it is paid by the owner, 8,000 rupees, leaving net annual value 1,72,000. So 1,72,000 is your NAV. Now you claim deduction under section 24. Once again, in house property, standard deduction is to be calculated as 30% of NAV. So I am calculating 30% of 1,72,000, this comes to 51,600. So government will give 51,600 deduction in place of insurance or repairing or any other expenses which you actually make for the house property are ignored, and in place of that 30% deduction is given. Interest given in question, additional one more deduction under section 24, and that is 30,000 for construction, purchase, repair, renewal of house property. So here it is construction of house property. 30,000 interest is allowed as a deduction. 81,600 is deduction from 1,72,000. When you deduct 81,600, answer is 90,400, and that becomes your taxable income from house property. Followed? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now, Mr. Rao's taxable salary we calculated, taxable income from house property we calculated, and now we are doing calculation of taxable income from other sources. This is fifth head of income, so we have written 5 income from other sources. Now, question says that interest on savings bank account 12,000, interest on FD plus TDS, because that was net amount, so add back TDS 20,000, interest on personal loan received 10,000, and honorarium from cooperative housing society 8,000. So all those are the examples given in question, and they are the incomes of Mr. Rao as to be taken under the head income from other sources. So total of that becomes taxable income from other sources. Very simple head of income. Just simple total becomes taxable income from other sources. So आपने 3 heads में taxable income find out किया. पहले taxable salary find out किया, taxable house property find out किया, टैक्सेबल इनकम फ्रॉम अदर सोर्सेस फाइंड आउट किया, और तीनों टैक्सेबल का टोटल A plus B plus C, you can say gross total income becomes 4,66,400 in this question. So simple. First calculate taxable income in each head which is given in question, and then total of all taxable income become gross total income. So this is a question where 3 heads of income comes into picture, and we have to calculate under given 3 heads of income. Now we will go further in this question for claiming deductions. Gross total income you have calculated. Now less deductions under chapter 6A. Yes, deductions under chapter 6A. Screen पे दिख रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now you know that 5 deductions are there in this chapter. First one is ATC. ATC, you have to do total of all eligible amounts. PPF, LIC premium, NSC, repayment of housing loan are eligible in this question. We have written those amounts and done total. Total comes to rupees 63,000, or maximum limit 1,50,000, whichever is less, and less is 63,000. So deduction under section 80C is 63,000. Followed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Second deduction, deduction under section 80D. Medical insurance premium given in question is 25,000, and government's maximum limit is also 25,000. So for presentation purpose, you are writing medical insurance premium 25,000 or maximum amount 25,000, whichever is less. So 25,000 becomes deduction under section 80D. Followed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now 80E is directly given to you in question. They say that educational loan repayment eligible for 80E is 60,000. So whatever given in question, we have written deduction under 80E for education loan 60,000. Followed?
Yes, sir.
80D, this is not 80D, this is 80G. Okay, so typing mistake. 80G, donation paid. Prime Minister's National Relief Fund is a 100% donation eligible amount. So 10,000 given to you in question. So 80G is 10,000. Followed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And last is 80 TTA. TTA is interest on savings bank account. In our question, 12,000 is interest amount which is received by Mr. Rao, which we have included in income from other sources also. So 12,000 or maximum amount under section 80 TTA is 10,000, whichever is less. So how much 80 TTA deduction will be possible in this question?
10,000.
10,000. Perfect. So 5 deductions, very simple. 63,000, 25,000, 60,000, 10,000 and 10,000. Total of 5 deduction comes to 1,68,000. When you deduct 1,68,000 from your gross total income, you get answer taxable total income, TTI, taxable total income 2,98,400. That's what you wanted to do, computation of taxable total income, and you arrive at an answer 2,98,400. Clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Now, you can see on your screen final thing, which is computation of tax. क्या दिख रहा है screen के ऊपर?
Statement of the tax calculation.
Statement of tax calculation. You are now doing tax calculation on 2,98,400, and everyone has done this type of calculations. So you can calculate on first 2,50,000, no tax. So answer is nil. But remaining 48,400, 5% is tax. So 2,420 is the amount of tax. So on total income of 2,98,400, your calculation, first calculation shows that you have to pay 2,420 as your tax. Everyone followed this?
Yes, sir.
5% of 48,400 is your tax. But now I am explaining you rebate under section 87A. Rebate under section 87A says that up to 5 lakhs, if your income is up to 5 lakhs, then maximum rebate you can claim is 12,500. That's what rebate section 87A says. Now here your taxable total income is 298,400, which is well within the limit of claiming rebate under section 87A. 5 लाख तक अगर किसी का इनकम है तो उसको 87A की रिबेट मिलती है. तो यहाँ पे 5 लाख से बहुत कम इनकम दिख रही है, 2,98,400. So we will claim rebate under section 87A. And 87A की रिबेट कैसे कैलकुलेट होती है? तो amount of tax or 12,500, whichever is less. So amount of tax is 2,420 or 12,500, whichever is less. So that is 2,420. So this assessee, Mr. Rao, need not pay any tax. 2,420 minus 2,420 is equal to no. Yes, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes.
the last part you need to, understand with little practical knowledge and understanding that Mr. Rao, when receives a salary from employer, salary was paid to him after deducting tax, that is TDS. So income tax department has also already received 10,000 rupees from employer of Mr. Rao as income tax payment of Mr. Rao. So TDS already salary पे 10,000 पे किया हुआ है. बैंक ने फिक्स डिपॉजिट पे इंटरेस्ट देने के टाइम पे 2000 was deducted from interest and paid to government. So with government, Mr. Rao's account shows 12,000 already paid. 12,000 is credit. मिस्टर राव का इनकम टैक्स एम्प्लॉयर ने और बैंक ने पे किया है और गवर्नमेंट के पास उनके 12,000 रुपीज क्रेडिट है. 12,000 रुपीज ऑलरेडी है. आपको तो कुछ भी टैक्स भरना नहीं है. योर कॉम्पिटिशन सेज दैट नो टैक्स. देन गवर्नमेंट विल से that this 12,000 will be refunded back to Mr. Rao. So your computation of tax income, you need to give credit of TDS at the end. So here two TDS were there. 12,000 we have claimed as a minus no tax payable and 12,000 already paid. So refund due. So government income tax department will pay 12,000 refund to Mr. Rao. So you have shown that in your computation that refund due is 12,000. So this way you need to solve your question where first you do computation of income under each head of income. In this question from salaries we have done calculation, from income from house property we have calculated taxable income, income from other sources we have calculated taxable income, total becomes gross total income, then deductions whatever available in information available in question based on that. So here we have claimed ATC, D, E, G and TTA, and after claiming those deduction answer is taxable total income. On taxable total income, you compute tax and 87A rebate if available, and do final presentation that how much is tax payable and how much tax is already paid. So 12,000 is already paid and nothing was coming to pay to government. So refund due is 12,000. So this way we have done computation of total income.